We're down here at the stunning Sanur Beach, and today we're going to check out some of the best activities that Sanur has to offer. Let's go and check them out. First up on our list of things to do in Sanur is the Beachfront Path. Now, it's a bit of a generic thing to say, the Beachfront Path, but what does it actually mean? Well, the Beachfront Path is a 5.8 kilometre long path that stretches from Pantai Mertasari in the south right up to the Sanur harbour where boats go to Nusa Lembongan and Nusa Penida. The path is paved the whole way, meaning it's a fantastic place to come and exercise, especially in the early morning hours before the sun gets too hot. I like to come down here and have a run or a walk most mornings, but other people have other activities that they like to do as well, such as cycling. Hiring a bike along the beach here costs anywhere between 10,000 and 20,000 per hour, but you do need to negotiate, and you need to make sure that when you speak to the owner that you check out the bike first, because some of them are better than others. Now that you've got your wheels, it's easy to get to either end of the path from wherever you start. When you walk though, the 5.8 kilometres can feel like a bit of a stretch when it's in the middle of the day, so it's best to break up that journey into little bite-sized chunks over the course of your visit in Sanur. The other great thing to do down on the beachfront path is to go to the beach and have a swim. This whole beach, the whole length of the beach, is actually very swimmable. There's a reef offshore which prevents all the waves coming in, so you have a very calm lagoon-like feel to the water here. The water's generally quite clean and it's a beautiful place just to go for a dip. Now if you have a family, the sand's beautiful, they can build sand castles, you can come out there and sunbathe, and depending on where you choose to stay, you can hire a sun lounge or camp straight out on the beach with a towel. The prices of sun lounges here are highly variable and require strict negotiation, but try and get one that's attached to a warung or a cafe so you can order food and drinks throughout the day. Along the beachfront path there are plenty of places to eat and drink. There's bars, restaurants and local warungs, and finding which one that you prefer is part of the adventure of coming to Sanur and finding out what the best places are. My suggestion is to take a walk up and down the beachfront and stop in every now and then for a little snack or a little drink and get an idea of what's nice, what's not, and what your preferences are. A couple of my favourites are Dutz Burger in the far north there that does cheap burgers that are surprisingly tasty, and in the very south, one of my favourites is the Sate Babi down at Pantai Mertasari. You can't miss it because there's fragrant smoke blowing outside the warung. The views from the beachfront path are absolutely phenomenal. And at sunrise you can get great glimpses of Gunung Agung and the surrounding islands. The sunrise here in Sanur is phenomenal. That said, I'd highly recommend coming down here at least once on your holiday just to get a glimpse of how good this sunrise really is. Next up we have Pura Ulamagun, which is a statue or a temple dedicated to the great fish. This is somewhat a much quieter little temple than you'll find in most of Bali, and not as well visited, but it's absolutely stunning with those two little turtles in the foreground and a big fish taking pride of place right up above. Pura Ulamagun is located on Pantai Cemara in the southern end of town. Check it out. Next up on our list of things to do here in Sanur is free yoga down at Pantai Karang. This is actually one of these things that very few people know about, but it's absolutely something you must take part in if you love your yoga. The yoga here starts between 7 and 7:30. Located at Pantai Karang, it's in a really great location for those of you who are staying in the centre of town. But even if you're staying in the north or the south, it's pretty easy to get here with a short walk along the beachfront path, or even just walking up along the main street and cutting across to the beach. These yoga classes are primarily done in Bahasa Indonesia, so it's a great way to learn a little bit of Indonesian while you're doing your yoga. While we say it's free, donations are warmly welcomed. Next up we have the Bali Festival Park, which is a theme park of sorts which is abandoned up here in Padanggalak, not far from the centre of Sanur. Now, it's not one of those traditionally fun things to do, but it's something really interesting if you're into abandoned stuff. You know, if you like to see something a little bit weird, something a little bit different, or maybe you're just into artwork, this is a really, really good option for you. Now, It looks a little bit like this. It is weird. Look how big that thing is there. That's the old theatre they used to have on site. But apart from that, they have hundreds and hundreds of abandoned buildings which you can go and have a look at. And it's just a fantastic little spot to do something a little bit different. Now, if I had kids, I would certainly be bringing them down here to show them what happens if you don't tidy up your bedroom. Look at that, absolute devastation because it hasn't been looked after for 30 years. This thing was built in the mid to late 90s and it's been abandoned ever since. And it's some place that you can come to for 20,000 rupiah up in Padangalak to have a really good time and explore it if you like this sort of thing. If you like B-grade attractions or just like things that are a little bit offbeat, you've got to come here. Aside from exploring abandoned buildings, I just really love the artwork here. And if you're a fan of art, you're going to love it here. Next up on our list of things to do here in Sanur is shopping at one of Sanur's many traditional markets. The thing about shopping at one of Sanur's many traditional markets is you give money directly back to people in Sanur rather than one of these big corporations. There are two main places that I really want to highlight today. The first one is Sindhu Beach Market. As the name suggests, Sindhu Beach Market is located near Sindhu Beach. Actually, if you just walk straight from the Icon Mall straight up towards Sindhu Beach, you'll pass by the Sindhu Beach Market. And here, there are so many shops selling so many little knickknacks, clothes, bags, all sorts of different bits and pieces. And primarily, the stuff here is by negotiation. It's the old way you used to do it in Bali in years gone by. This shop, for example, is selling a lot of incense, fridge magnets. This one's selling a lot more clothes. And it goes quite far back. You can get really far back in this little sort of gang and see all the different places that are trading their wares. Now, while this style of shopping isn't as popular as it once used to be, you can still get some great bargains if you know how to negotiate. The next place that deserves a mention is the Baruna Beach Market. It's up at Pantai Sindhu as well. And it's really good because the prices here are mainly fixed prices. So let's go and check it out. So you come down here, I mean, it doesn't look much from the outside, to be honest, but once you get down there, you will find a bunch of fixed price shops. And they'll say things like, for example, this one, which is closed at the moment, will say wholesale. Now, that just basically means you can go and buy in bulk from them and resell it if you want. But there's other places like this shop number 28, fixed price. That's actually got a pretty good reputation, the Tootsie one. But the Sikhi's got a good reputation here as well. And you keep going down further and further into this little alleyway, and there's heaps of little places that are worth looking at, all fixed price. Well, that's what the signs say anyway. Get in there and you can probably do a bit of negotiating if you want a discount as well. Look at it, brilliant. Well, nice pillows, look at those, nice little homewares. There's a lot of little homewares in there. Hello. Hello. Oh yeah, nice. So if you want something a little bit more, well, for me, it's looking like if you don't want the hassle, you can come down here and do fixed price. But the thing is, you don't know whether it's going to be a better price or not than if you were negotiating with someone. Oh, hello. Lots of suitcases, handbags, oh, all the fake stuff. Fake handbags. Well, there you go. If you want fake handbags, this is where you should come. That's beautiful. All the way down to Monica shop. They've got heaps of stuff down there. Beautiful. And another point about coming to these sorts of places as well, don't just go to the first one or two. Make sure you get down the back as well, because you'll often find really good bargains down the end of the alleyway rather than just at the front where everyone else goes. Next up, we have going to the movies. Yes, going to the movies is a good thing to do in Sanur, especially on one of those rainy days when you've got nothing else you can do. Come over to the movies in Icon Mall. They are fantastic, absolutely top-class, world-class cinemas, and they're cheap. On a non-holiday, non-weekend, for a basic seat, it's about 40,000, and then it goes up from there when you start adding on good seats, IMAX and that sort of stuff. The movies here are half Indonesian, half English. So if you go to an English language movie, They won't be dubbed. It'll be still in the original English language, so you can understand exactly what's going on without having to worry about translations and that sort of stuff. But the seats that I like are the premier seats. They start from about 100,000. They recline like a big lounge, and they're awesome. So if you're looking for a bit of entertainment that doesn't require there to be a sunny day, come down to the movies in the Icon Mall. Getting a massage is one of the all-time favourite things to do in all of Bali, and it's no different in Sanur. Now, there are a few different ways you can get a massage here in Sanur. You can come down to the beach to one of these little places, and this one in particular is right by Costa by Monster Cafe in the southern end of town, but there are other options as well along the beachfront. If you walk up and down the beach, you will sometimes see ladies offering massages for a negotiable fee. Now, these beach massages, they're a more simple style massage, very casual, very relaxed, and they sort of fit in with the theme if you've been down at the beach, drinking a few beers, relaxing on a sun lounge, absolutely perfect for that. But if you're after something a little bit more professional, a little bit more serious, there are those options around Sanur as well. The most famous professional massage in all of Sanur is called The Nest. And it's located down near Pantai Semarang. So if you look on the map at Pantai Semarang, you'll see the Nest right next door. It's a good location. It is on the beach, but it's actually all indoors, very professional, and it's well regarded, absolutely well regarded. Aside from the Nest, there are other options such as Penny Wenny in the south of town, which are highly regarded as well. For history buffs, there's a little known but fascinating historical object right here in Sanur that you absolutely must see. It's called the Prasasti Blanjong, and this is it. It's a lotus flower inscription with old Balinese writing on it from the year 911 AD. It's a fascinating look back in time at what old Bali used to be like and the sort of things they used to get up to. And while it's an activity that's only going to take you about 5-10 minutes max, it's one of those things that you probably will want to come and do if you're really looking for things to do in Sanur. Now, a somewhat underrated aspect of things to do in Sanur is actually the water sports, and there are a vast range of different water sports available, ranging from surfing, and there's heaps of that, surfing lessons, hydrofoil, stand-up paddleboard, and you can get a lot of that at a place like this, which is the Rip Curl School of Surf. They do lots of lessons. They've got all sorts of different water sports available. As you can see, like this, e-foil, sup, kite surf, surf foil, wing surf. So there's just a huge range of things to do, and they can sell you the clothing to go along with it as well as wetsuits. They've got little kayaks down there. They've got the full range. Now, there are other places to do these sorts of water sports along the beach as well, but this is one of the most well-renowned. There are other independent businesses that you can get these services from. Now, one of the reasons that the water sports here are so fun to do is that there is two separate parts to the beach or the water. There's the flat lagoon type area, which is sort of a shielded ocean area, and then there's a reef where there's the waves breaking. So there's two areas. You can go real flat if you want to do a stand-up paddleboard without surfing it, or you can go further out, about 400 meters out into the ocean, where the waves start breaking. And if you really want to get serious, you can even get someone to take you out in a boat and get surfing. The other aspect of water sports is these things. There are jet skis in Sanur. Now, it's not as if you hear them roaring up and down the beach all day long. It's not really like that. But if you want to take on one of these jet skis during the day, you certainly can, especially when the tide is higher and you're not going to bottom out on the sand over there. So whether you're into the motorised water sport or just want to try out maybe a surf or a stand-up paddleboard, there's something here for you in Sanur. Last but not least, the best thing to do in Sanur is to relax and take it easy. With its laid-back vibe, friendly people, and incredible beachfront location, Sanur just invites you to take your foot off the gas and take it easy. And with views like this, why wouldn't you? Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all things Sanur. I'll catch you next time.